Hi there, welcome to video diary number 7 as I write and record my 3rd album. Now it's been a little while since the last update, but we're getting to the end of the album now, which is great. So I've been tweaking some bits as we go, and I've now got 9 songs mastered, so they're basically done. I'd like to add something to the first one, and I think, obviously every time I listen to it I think, there's something, a little something that I'd like to tweak. But a few tweaks aside, basically there with 9 songs now, and I've got one more on the go. So the one that I've been working on recently is a piano piece. Now piano is probably my 4th most comfortable instrument because I'm most comfortable playing guitar, then probably drums, then bass, and then piano. So I'm not that good at piano. My right hand is reasonable, my left hand, well, I've been working on it, but my girlfriend has got a wonderful antique piano. It's 100 years old. It's probably sort of 1915 or so, the piano tuner reckons, because it was tuned 2 days before I made this recording that you're going to see in this video. So I sat down at this lovely tuned piano and started working on this piece. And I had 2 different ideas that I put together, and I like the way that it goes from a dark, melancholy sound to a really rich, full major key. So it modulates, I mean, technically it only modulates through 2 keys, but in my mind there are 3, because it starts off in F sharp minor, and so it's F sharp minor and C sharp minor, then it comes through D and E, back up to F sharp minor. But the last time it goes to that D and E, it stays on the E, E7, and that goes into A minor. So that's the big shift into a different key. And it's definitely A minor for that section because it still sounds sad. And then it completely changes and goes into this warm, full C major section. And the timing in that is different, definitely. It's kind of 5/4 time, and there's also a 2/4 time bit as well, so it depends how you look at it. I mean, I know my friend Ryan actually would have a lot of fun looking at exactly what's happening with the timing here. But what I did was focus on the notes that I wanted to play rather than playing it to a rhythm. So even though you can hear a rhythm and a pulse, it's actually quite free in terms of the timing, which I think is quite cool. And that's actually how I wrote my first ever song all the way back in 1994. I remember going around to my friend's house and his older brother said, "You play your song and I'll drum for you." And I said, "I don't think you'll be able to drum to it." He said, "I can drum to anything." So I started playing, and sure enough he couldn't, because the timing wasn't conventional. So there's definitely an element of that in this. There was another song, actually, Grenades, on this album, started off being like that, but I actually changed it so that it was more 4/4. So I'd like to play you the actual piece as it stands so far. It may have some words over it, currently it doesn't, and I can also hear where guitars and cymbals and things would go, but I'm tempted to just leave it as a piano piece because it's an album all about variety, right? So I think having just a piano piece would be really something quite different for me. But in terms of recording this piano, I tried different things. I tried putting my GoPro to the side and recording that, with the audio from that, and it sounded reasonable, but it was distorting at times, I think because it was shaking. Also, if I put the microphone on top of the piano, that would also shake. What I actually had to do was go inside the piano, and you see it's got this sort of concertinary bar system inside. So I was actually able to double over the soft case that my lavalier microphone came with, because I got a wireless lapel mic. So I put the soft case, wrapped it around, it had Velcro so I could wrap it around that piece of wood, and then I clipped the lavalier mic onto it, pointing downwards into the piano. Now, because that was right by all of the hammers, which hit the strings and make the sound, actually you can hear some squeaks from the hammers, and some of the notes are obviously louder because that's nearer, but I actually think it sounds pretty good. And anywhere else I found that I would get this vibration, and also if it was lower then I would hear the sound of the pedals actually, for the sustain pedal, clunking as it came back up. No matter how soft I was with my foot, it would still make some noise. So I think actually this sounds pretty good. So I'm quite happy with it. So I don't mind if it sounds bad. I was considering actually putting a vinyl crackle over it, which I still might do. Obviously I still put the whole thing through Logic Pro 10 and I put it through EQ and gave it a bit of reverb as well. So I made it sound as good as I could. So that's what you're going to hear now. It's currently untitled. It was going to be called After the Storm, but the first bit really does sound quite storm-like, although I wasn't thinking of a storm, and actually tonally it sounds like a shift from being trapped or depression or something to being completely free and the sun shining. So see what you think. Here we go. So this is the untitled piano piece that's going to be on the album. Well, I really hope you enjoyed watching that. I enjoyed writing it and playing it. It's loads of fun. As I say, the next piece I do will be Electronica, and that will bring the whole album to 10 songs, which is one more than either of my first two had, at which point I think it will be about there. So it's very exciting. We're getting to the end. I still hope to have the album out in April, but in the meantime, please take a look around my channel. Up here, you can see the playlist of all the other videos in this series as I make this album. Down here, we've got some video games, and you can hit like and subscribe as well. So please do. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you soon. Take care.